Assalamu alaikum. Today's lecture is all about globalization and managing in a global environment. In three distinctive videos, we are going to cover the following topics altogether: definition of globalization and explanation of how it is creating a borderless world for today's managers, a highlight on what is a global mindset and why it has become imperative for companies operating internationally, description of the characteristics of a multinational corporation, and finally, analysis of how dissimilarities in the economic, socio-cultural, and legal political environments throughout the world can affect business operations. Now, the reality facing most managers is that isolation from international forces is no longer possible. Organizations in all fields are being reordered around the goal of addressing needs and desires that transcend national boundaries. Consider that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, now ranks international cybercrime as one of its top priorities because electronic boundaries between countries are virtually non existent. As they say, the whole boundary mindset has been obliterated. Globalization basically refers to the extent to which trade and investments, information, social and cultural ideas, and political cooperation flow between countries. One result is that countries, businesses, and people become increasingly interdependent. Japan's Nissan automaker has headquarters in Yokohama, but the chief executive of its luxury Infinity division has his office in Hong Kong. Then the skin, cosmetics, and personal care business of Procter and Gamble (P&G) is based in Singapore. The United States is the largest manufacturer or largest market for India-based Tata Consultancy Services (TCS) and other Indian information technology (IT) firms, while the US firm IBM gets the most of its tech services revenue from overseas. So, globalization has been on the rise since the 1970s, and most industrialized nations show high degree of globalization in today's times. Defining a global mindset. Global mindset is the ability to absorb information, traditions, and cultural norms from around the world and be able to conceptualize how to make an impact in all environments. According to research conducted by the Harvard Business Review, a global mindset is the ability to adjust to different environments and cultures internationally. The real question is, how does global mindset apply in a business environment? We will discuss what it takes to be able to have a global mindset in a business. There are different key attributes to a global mindset. The mind and life experiences are monumental when discussing mindsets. To take it a step further, if one wants to have a global mindset, key attributes must be displaced when working within a business or organization. There are three attributes that must be met: intellectual, psychological, and social. Coming towards the cognitive attribute or the intellectual attribute first, having the ability to comprehend and process new information is what cognitive attribute is about. This means being able to utilize business savvy methods while learning more about new cultures. Employees with a global mindset will take the initiative to learn more about how people of different cultures think and respond to situations. They'll learn how to effectively listen and get their points across. Then the second attribute is the psychological attribute. Having an interest in getting to know more about other cultures is what this attribute is about. An employee would need to go the extra mile. For instance, the same words and gestures may not mean the same thing to an international employee as it means to you. Taking the time to understand these norms is important to the company. If the employee has a closed mind, it would be difficult for them to adjust to a colleague from another country. Then the third attribute is the social attribute. The ability of an employee to have an intercultural empathy for an international colleague is what this attribute is about. The social dimension concerns the ability to behave in ways that build trusting relationships with people who are different from oneself. Now, people who have had exposure to different cultures and speak different languages develop a global mindset more easily. Global leaders can speak multiple languages and have extensive experience interacting with people different from themselves. Thank you.